I'm Hazel, and this is a guide to the Lady Inerva Darkvein fight in Castle Nathria on normal and heroic difficulty. She's got 4 jars, and each one is tied to a mechanic. We've got Tank Jar, Soak Jar, Orb Jar, and Add Jar. As a jar fills over time, it unlocks a bad and then worse version of its mechanic at 1/3 and 2/3 full respectively. They stack up, so at 70% full you're dealing with both the bad and the worst modifiers for that jar's mechanic. Lucky for us, we can drain them to keep them in check. Click a spigot to open up the jar, and click it again to close it when you're done. While it's draining, it'll cause some rate damage, so drain carefully, but it's gotta be done. As a general rule, do your best to get them under 1/3 full, and definitely don't let them fill all the way. That is very, very bad. To keep that spicy, Inerva can focus Anima on a jar to temporarily lock it and charge it up faster. She starts with the leftmost one, Tank Jar, and she cycles through them in order. Tank, Soak, Orb, Add. You want to pre-drain a jar before she locks it, and then drain it again after to get it back down to a reasonable level. Alright, so let's look at the jars. Tank Jar is the container of desire, and the mechanic here is a straightforward tank swap debuff, Warped Desires. Swap on 2 stacks or so of that. The bad version adds Shared Cognition, which copies the tank damage to a random player. That's just gotta be healed through. The worse version will add in Change of Heart, where the tank explodes for raid damage when their debuff expires. The explosions got a distance drop off, so the tanks gotta run away to go explode by themselves if the tank jar is over 2/3 full. Second, we have Soak Jar, and this gives us a straightforward soak mechanic. Each of these bottled anima splashes must be soaked by 1 player each. The bad version adds pools that drop under the soak spots, and the worse version makes the soak bounce, so it needs to be soaked twice. Third, we have Orb Jar. The mechanic here is a set of orbs that spawn up in melee. They'll do damage while they're up, and they gotta go. To that end, 3 random players will get shared suffering, and they'll be connected by beams. They need to position so that they're threading a beam through each orb at once to make the orbs go away. If you take too long, it's bad. On normal and heroic, you'll only have 3 orbs, so it should be a little easier than this looks. The bad version links the orbs with their own beam, and that beam hurts. You'll want to move the boss away from the orbs altogether, and the beam crew needs to be careful to thread them from the outside. And then the worst version makes the bad orb beams rotate like we're in Diablo. You'll need to thread them from even farther back. Jar number 4 is the Add Jar. A random player will get a dot, and when it expires there's an AoE, and a big Tank Boy ad spawns. Tank Boy does not move. He needs to be tanked lest he spews raid damage, and he'll debuff his target. Whichever tank does not have the boss will take Tank Boy, and the swap you're already doing on 2 stacks of Warped Desires will manage the Tank Boy debuff too. DPS can cleave off the ad, but make sure that you kill it pretty quick. If more than 1 debuff goes out, and it's unclear if this is supposed to happen on normal or not, but assume that it does, the extra ones will not spawn more Tank Boys, but instead, raid damage buds. These just sit and cast Condemn, which is long, kickable, and does nasty raid damage if it gets off, so just kick and kill these ads if they show up. In the bad version of Add Jar, the targets with the dots will get rooted. Others will need to get away from them for the AoE, and then the tank will need to go to them to tank Tank Boy. Don't live out in the wilderness, or else it's going to be a bad time if you're rooted and spawning ads out there. The worst version causes fragments of shadow orbs to fly out in all directions from the targets when the dot expires. The raid needs to dodge these, which will be easier if you're farther away. On normal and heroic, that's the fight. There is a decent chance that the raid damage buds are just for heroic and mythic. The Dungeon Journal and beta testing kind of disagrees on that one, so we'll have to see. Anyways, that's Jar Lady. Check out my Twitch. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.